Boom.
All
We're
right.
good. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Welcome to the 3 for 3 podcast.
Boom.
Love it.
Boom.
Episode 1, fellas.
That's it.
Paul Nelson, Frank LaFada, Alex Gullett. Fellas, how's the week? First of all, Frank, we don't even say how our week was. Alex, you're here. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no. My wife said till death do us part, and it can't be related to the Cowboys, so I'm here.
And to death do us part wasn't a goal, right?
No, that's a destination.
As well. Till death do us part.
Enjoy the journey, brother.
That's a good place to start as any. Let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of NFL since Alex was going through the ringer.
Man.
So I would say, how about them Cowboys? But
How about them Jags?
let's just first start with our boy, Mr. Captain Cowboy himself.
Yeah, man, Captain Cowboy, man. I'm not feeling too captain right now. I feel like Captain Hook, peg leg, or was it an arm? What was that thing? Yeah. What was it? I got parrots on my shoulder right now, and it's all the Cowboys haters, and it's coming from every direction. So, now how about them Cowboys? Didn't look good, did it? Man, we go up at halftime, like games hours. I'm sitting back on my couch, like eating Cheetos, orange fingers and all, just enjoying the game. And by the fourth quarter, I've thrown the bag, and not good.
It's amazing. I think Mike McCarthy was eating Cheetos the second half.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Kellen Moore, they weren't calling plays the way they should have been.
I don't know if he ate Cheetos or if he drank the same thing that the Colts drank. I'm sure it's around the same thing,
It's rum. It's pirate thing, right?
Yeah, the bottle of yo.
Playoff picture, right? Playoff picture. This really hurts not only for the Cowboys. What's great is the Philly cheesesteak story.
Did you read that?
Did you read that? That was hilarious.
They said they sent, what was it,
38
cheesesteaks to the Jaguars?
Steaks to the Jaguars.
With fries, right?
With fries.
Yeah, whatever.
As a thank you. It's clearly Philly is now in the driver's seat. They're the 1 seed. Let's just go playoffs, how everything looks right now. In the NFC, the Eagles would have the bye. You would have Washington at Minnesota. We're definitely going to talk about them. The Giants at the Niners, and then your Cowboys at Tampa Bay.
Can we stay on the Cowboys for a minute?
Yeah, Cook.
I think I have to. I have to take advantage of this, and you guys have to listen, right? Man, think about this. You guys are coaching a team, okay? You're the offensive coordinator of a team. Let's skip the Mike McCarthy talk for a moment, because I don't think it's all on Mike McCarthy. I think coach builds culture, and we'll get into that. I think offensive coordinators call plays, and I think coaches get to put a stamp on it or not as that play is called, which he obviously let the play call go. You get the ball, minute and a half left, 1st and 10 after a turnover. They have 3 timeouts. Man, foundational football is run. Make them burn their timeouts. You kick the ball. At that point, if we run on that third down, where obviously Dak Prescott chucked the ball to Noah Brown, big number 85 of the sideline. I think the ball was thrown 10 yards out of bounds, actually. He didn't even have a chance to catch the ball. But that play call by itself, Mr. Kellen Moore, can you quit being cute? There's no room for cuteness in the NFL. You have to play to win, and playing to win is fundamental. Man, what a bad play call.
He kind of did play to win, but if it was 4th and 30, that was a great play call.
yeah, like your clock's running down, no time left, 4th and 30, huck it as far as you can.
Not 3rd and 3. What was it?
No, it was 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
They had not gained any yardage.
Listen.
But at that point, I'm like, okay, 3rd and 10. First of all, that's a 3rd and mid, right? That's a 3rd and long, right? That's not even a 3rd and short play call. You got a handful of plays for this play. CD's been killing the middle. We just discussed that earlier. Dalton Schultz is your safety valve on a comeback route, curl route, whatever it may look like in the middle of the field.
Because realistically, it's
why is Tony
8 to
Pollard
15 yards, right?
Why is Tony Pollard not running a wheel route on the outside for a check down? And you know what? You gain 5 or 6. Best case scenario, at least it's a completion. Clock stays moving. You stay in bounds. He has a chance to make one guy miss. Now we're having a different conversation. You make one guy miss. That's CeeDee Lamb's job. That's Tony Pollard's job. And we don't do that, man. heartbreaking. And then I'll say in the overtime, just to kill my last spiel, that overtime thing. We could talk about Dak all we want. That's not a Dak thing. That ball was perfectly placed. It was thrown low. He was past the line to gain. Noah Brown, it hit him in the chest, literally right here. It bounces, interception. There it goes. Now, did Dak play the perfect game? No, first interception was all on him. That was a rushed play. He threw it. It had 10 yards of airtime on it more than it needed. Gets intercepted. That's on Dak. That second interception is not on Dak. I know it doesn't look good, fits the theme, but it's not on him.
So if 1 is no panic at all, and 10 is we are freaking out, panic, where are you at right now?
Man, I sit at, about a 3. I'm not panicked. I
Not
feel
panicked.
good. I think we have some injuries. I think Dorrance Armstrong, Leighton Van Der Esch, that hurt. Anthony Brown on the backside, Jordan Lewis, those losses on those DBs, man, that hurts. I mean, we literally had to pull a defensive back on that game. That kid, what is his name? Why can't I think about it? I just told you earlier.
That kid.
That kid,
Man, we drafted him 2 years ago.
Lane LaFada. No? Oh. Shout
Not
out.
yet.
Shout out Lane LaFada.
Shout out Lane
Lane.
LaFada, man. Shout out Lane LaFada. Go Bobcats, number 12. But no, man, that we ended up pulling our DB. We had to sign McKenzie off of just on the street.
Yeah. Injuries are part of the game.
It is,
it's part of the game. I know you had high expectations. It was, Super Bowl prediction coming from one Alex, Captain Cowboy Gullet. Home field advantage. I don't think those predictions are going to last. If they're not panicking, who else is not panicking? Who are the NFC teams who we think are really good, who have kind of their destiny in their hands? Frank, who do you think is?
I mean,
who are the best NFC teams?
For the NFC teams, there is 3 realistic situations. Other than that, it's kind of, and I'll be honest, if I put these 3 teams in the AFC, they're not making my top 3. I've thought about this for just going down it, because I was like, there's only really 3 that kind of are cream of the crop, and it's pretty easy by wins and losses looking at it. And we kind of have like the Philly, San Fran, Dallas, or not Dallas, Philly, San Fran, Dallas. They're the 3 that I would go with. But at the same time, I don't love any of them. I don't care if Philly's 13-1. I don't trust anybody in Philly until I see it.
Is Jalen Hurts that man?
He
He hasn't proved that in the playoffs yet, right?
No. I mean, they got a good defense, and defense wins chips. That at the end of the day, you got to have the D. Everything else you could have a mediocre offense and have a great defense and be there.
It's a kid show. It's a kid show. Let's just calm down. Let's calm down.
I almost said it. I was like, oh, man, this is how we get away from.
You just can't.
So
left turns,
agree.
bro. Left turns.
I completely agree with you. I think Philly still has to prove it. They've won. They haven't looked great. Your boy Michael Parsons was calling him out. Hey, is it him? Is it Jalen, or is it the wide receivers?
I think
is
it's
it
a real
the
combo.
defense? I think that conversation with Von Miller said a lot of how the league views the Eagles. I do think San Francisco. It all depends on Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy. If he continues to be relevant, and I don't think they need him to be an amazing player. I think, hey, we need you to manage expectations. I think Kyle Shanahan has proved he can call a game plan with anybody under center. I mean, this is a guy who made Johnny Manziel look amazing for a short period of time. One team we're not
talking about though. What are we talking? Are we talking about to win it all? Are we talking about just to go a couple wins?
All it takes is one win to win it all. I think that Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy can get to the Super Bowl with that defense and those offensive weapons.
So we're saying they're comparable to the 2000 Ravens.
Offensively, they're a lot better than.
I think
the
Christian
2000.
McCaffrey changed that team.
I don't know.
Yes, I think they could be similar to last year's Rams.
Yeah, I see it. I think with Purdy, I think if you really look at it, like if I look at what level of play San Francisco needs from Purdy to win in the playoffs or in a championship, they don't need excellent quarterback play.
You just comparable to last year's Rams?
Yes.
No.
I think the Bengals and the Rams last year. Remember, it's not who has played well all season. It's who got hot the last month.
How many times
That's
does the
it.
best team actually win the championship?
Every year the best team wins. But
Because
I
they
mean,
got
leading
hot.
up, a month,
they got
before.
hot. They haven't been number one on the power rankings index for like 17 weeks.
Football and baseball is about who gets hot.
It's who
Yeah,
top.
you're absolutely right.
Basketball is more the best team usually wins, but basketball is the odds-on favorite. Like you can consistently say the best team wins, but football and baseball, it's just who's hot, who's in the zone.
One team that we haven't mentioned, one thing that we haven't mentioned at all is the Vikings. We're talking about the top teams. They'd be, let's see here. Yeah, they'd be the second seed.
Bro, who
right
are
now.
the Vikings?
Are the Vikings frauds, Alex? Are they frauds?
Who are the Vikings? No, because when you look at it, think about this. Like, you go back and look at them. They're top 10 in offense, total offense. They're top 10 in total defense in the NFL. They're sitting top 10 in both.
I don't think they're top 10 in
They
defense.
are. They're sitting at 10.
I think they are first in giving up yards. They are dead last. They've give up 24.9. I don't want to do them any disrespect and say 25.
Yeah. Don't do 25.
They have given up 24.9 points per game.
Do we have a stat checker?
I don't have a complete stat checker, but I do say that they've let up more yards than they've gained. They let up more rushing yards than they've gained.
And they may have aren't they have more points against than for?
So no, they're +2 in that retrospect.
Right.
+2 at their record.
So
you may be right.
The only thing they're top 10 in is interceptions. That's it.
Well, that's Kirk Cousins.
That's
Well,
Captain Kirk.
top 10 in Kirk memes.
they are.
What's
you
it
like
called?
that?
No,
you like
but
that.
okay. So back to the question. Okay, maybe not top 10 in defense. That's a my bad. I tried to sneak that one by you guys, but
No sneaking by us,
hey,
buddy.
come on, man. That's why you do what you
Fact
do.
department.
They
Yeah,
remind me a lot.
absolutely.
They remind me a lot of Dallas, though,
I was going to say the same thing
because I
because
feel like they play like a number one team, and then
Until
they
it
play
matters.
like the worst team.
like primetime Kirk's a real thing.
yeah,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's a real ordeal.
They didn't win this weekend.
No, they did win. That's you don't have the biggest
the
NFL
Colts
comeback
lost
ever
that
in that
game. I don't believe that you can do that.
Is that a
without
Matt
coach
Ryan curse, like 28-3 and then 33-0?
No,
like
that's a I hired a coach that never coached before coach mistake.
is that a Jeff Saturday problem, which we haven't discussed
what
yet?
What has he done? He's beat the Raiders.
Okay, back to Minnesota.
And that's
Do I think they're frauds though? Do I think Minnesota's fraud? No, I think Minnesota's a legit good team. I think they have a decent defensive line that can get after the quarterback some. I think the back end play leaves a lot to be desired. But I think when you have Dalvin Cook and you have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen at your number 2, you traded for T.J. Hawkinson, and then you have Kirk Cousins who's so hot or cold. If they catch fire for a couple of weeks, that offense could take them to a Super Bowl. Literally. Do I think it'll happen? It's Minnesota.
No.
But they could.
No, the real question is do you think they're going to win a 17-13 game?
I don't know that they're going to be in many 17 to 13
Yeah,
games.
I was going to say.
I think they can win a game like we saw 39 to 36.
Yeah, but
I don't know how many of those Peyton Manning Colts teams did we say, well, you know what? Colts have got to hold them to 18 points. I think this Minnesota team is a lot like, for the old heads out there, this is the Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss, Chris Carter.
Vikings.
Hey, they snuck up on everybody and finished like 14-2 the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
Was that
right?
like right after Brett Favre or right before? Or how was that?
That was I think it was way before. I think this was Elway's second Super Bowl when everybody thought the Broncos were going to go undefeated.
Yeah, didn't Minnesota beat
98-ish.
Yeah, it was. But
they beat Atlanta or something like that.
That team outscored everybody, and
Lost to Atlanta.
this is going to have to be that style of team. Now, I mean, Justin Jefferson is entered into the atmosphere of, is he a non-quarterback player who should be mentioned in the MVP discussion?
Oh no, he's upper echelon. I think there's a couple in the league. There's a Tyreek Hill. There's a Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. After that, maybe Stephon Diggs. I don't know, but
I know he's hurt, but it's blasphemy for not mentioning Cooper Kupp.
it's a different kind of receiver to me.
What do you mean?
He reminds me so much of like.
There's no way in the beginning of the season you'd say Cooper Kupp.
I think he's a stereotypical white boy wide receiver.
What does that got to do with the price of tea in China? He is in the week one. Cooper Kupp was everybody's number one.
Okay, so here's what I want to
receiver.
ask you sitting here right now. If we're drafting an NFL team and you have the first pick and it has to be wide receiver, who here is selecting Cooper Kupp?
I think if we're creating a team, you're going to look at age, you're going to look at contract. That's a loaded question.
Okay, so if it's only good for a year, who's taking Cooper Kupp?
I'm taking Cooper Kupp right now.
Over Justin Jefferson?
Yes.
I think it's
That's
a worthy
crazy.
discussion. I think the real question is who's the MVP this year? I mean, I think it was Jalen's to lose, and then this weekend opened everybody's eyes going, I think before this weekend started, it was he is the MVP. He's the number one clear favorite. And then afterwards, it was, is he the MVP? I don't know. Like who are some other names that we're talking about?
Well, yeah, Patty's definitely up there. Josh Allen can't be without mention.
Josh Allen.
Oh,
did
come
you
on!
say?
Shout out Bills.
Wait
Josh
a second.
Allen.
Did
Shout
we
out Bills
say?
Mafia.
Yeah, Bills Mafia.
Listen, this table is not safe while I'm here. I'm going to tell you.
So you think Patty Mahomes? You think Josh Allen? I tell you, I look at it. Jalen Hurts. Frank, you and I were talking the other day, and you said, I think if you put Justin Fields on that Philadelphia team, they're just as good.
And I think that the
That's
Chargers
crazy.
just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just some stats for you, right? Stats for the people. People love stats. Hurts, 68%, about 3,200 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 700 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 9 fumbles, right? Patty McTouchdowns, our boy, right?
Yeah.
He's not Troy Polamalu, never not working, but he's something, right? 66% completion percentage, over 4,000 yards already, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 300 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 fumbles. And then my guy, my dude, Josh, Captain America, I can do anything. I'm going to roll you over, Allen. Fireball, California, shout out, Fireball. All right. Josh Allen, 64%. He's kind of like the middle ground. He's thrown for about 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 700 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns.
Homeboy's got wheels.
12 fumbles.
12.
We can't hang on to 12 fumbles.
But does that loss to Miami I don't know, that was kind of detrimental, like when it happened.
He's got one loss. We can't take the one loss. Are we talking about Josh Allen?
No, I'm talking about Josh Allen.
You talking about Josh? No,
I don't think that game was detrimental. I think it was early in the season. It was 115 degrees with 3,000% humidity in South Beach, where we know players just stick to football during that week. So I don't hold that against him. I think redemption game was sweet the other night.
That was a good game.
I mean, what a contrast. 100 degrees in Miami.
And then the snowball.
And
10
10 degrees in Buffalo.
Snow globe game.
Yeah, that's a beautiful contrast. But getting back to the thing, with Jalen Hurts, he's still 4th in QBR and QB rating. He leads the league in total touchdowns. The fact that he's 2nd in rushing touchdowns, he's like top 50. I think he's like top 10, top 15 in rushing yards.
So
that's crazy. Like, he's the quarterback. So when you think about, so
he does play.
Percentage-wise,
that's confirmed. He does play quarterback.
He does play quarterback.
Yeah, and it's for percentage-wise. The fact that he's a top 10 quarterback, but then he's like 2nd in rushing touchdowns, total rushing touchdowns. You got to start to factor in the point that his team's walking away with the division. They're walking away with the number 1 seed in the NFC, way above expectation. Granted, he's got a good team, but most MVPs really got good teams.
Okay, so no, let's be honest. I think Jalen Hurts, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm a Philly hater.
Don't do
right? That's who I am. But Jalen Hurts, honestly, he's a system quarterback. I really believe he's a system quarterback. Here's what I look at. If I take Jalen Hurts off the Philadelphia Eagles,
MVPs.
They may. But if I take Jalen Hurts off of Philadelphia Eagles and Gardner Minshew starts for 10 games, I still think they're above 500.
Uncle Rico?
Their team is, Uncle Rico. I think their team is that good. You take Joe Burrow or Patty Mahomes off of Cincinnati or Kansas City, they're not 500.
Dude, what about that pass?
They're not 500.
Yeah, I think, I mean, to finish it off here, with our NFL discussion for this week, I think a couple things. One, all quarterbacks are system quarterbacks. It just depends on what system you're in. We've seen good quarterbacks fail in systems that didn't fit their game. We've seen subpar quarterbacks look like superstars. I do think it's very telling. It'll be interesting to check back in next week, when we see kind of a little bit further in the NFL season and see if any of these predictions hold true.
Well, not to mention this. Doesn't he have a torn shoulder? Separated his shoulder.
Well, I mean, if we're not going to mention it, why mention it? But yeah, sure. I mean, he
doesn't he right now?
he allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, okay, now I will say, if he doesn't play a couple games, it's going to hurt the fact that he can be MVP if I'm still having Justin Jefferson go off, Patty Mahomes is still playing. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Listen,
Like,
we,
I
we
think-
were a fourth quarter Buffalo victory away from the Kansas City Chiefs having the number 1 seed. And then this is a totally different.
That's still not out of the ball game.
Conversation?
It's not.
Does
That's
that
still
affect
not
the MVP
out.
conversation?
I think there's a lot of season left.
Wasn't this the week? Wasn't this the year that Kansas City was supposed to come down to earth?
No, I think this was the year that Kansas City finally got an offensive line and they played like they normally did.
Yeah, but like losing Tyreek and then kind of being where they were, it was supposed to be like a we'll see what happens year.
I mean, Tyreek was such a huge player. Look at Miami. The team is totally different with one player. He deserves mention in this, but Patty Mahomes just keeps ticking.
He does.
He just keeps ticking.
And he'll continue to keep ticking. Now, the NFL is kind of wrapping up. We got 3 more weeks left. We're going to figure out seeding and then let the second season of playoffs begin. Now, what I love, what's coming up, is NBA trade season. NBA trade seasons right here. We have the first quarter of the NBA just finished. So, being a school teacher, first quarters matter. First quarters definitely matter.
Don't they?
They definitely do. Just ask any middle school basketball team. First quarters matter.
Yeah.
So let's go over a couple NBA things that I've noticed. A couple things for you guys. Who's been the most surprising? What have you seen this NBA season where you were just shocked or floored?
One could say Boston, just because of the horrendous start and the crazy, just off the court scandals and stuff that was happening, and the fact that they're still going on, they're ticking along, that they're just beating drums and making it happen. But I won't go with them. I'm going to go with a different one. It's the New York Knicks.
Is it the Knicks?
I really thought they were going to be bottom seller type team.
Is it the
To be
Knicks?
17-13, to be led by
Listen,
Randall's comeback?
the savior of the boroughs, Jalen Brunson.
Hey, I was going to say, we're going
Right.
to talk about Jalen in a little bit, but I think that, man, the Knicks is a good pick.
The
Good
Knicks-
pick.
Just
Sleepy
for
is a good
surprising, like I was just looking over the stats and going through the thing, like 17-13.
But weren't they pretty good last year?
No,
They made a
no,
little run.
No,
When?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago when Julius
Last year.
Randle was playing out of his head. Last
years
year,
ago.
Randle got paid and did Randle things.
Last year they
Yeah.
couldn't give Randall away.
No.
They couldn't give him away.
Yeah, but I mean, they had a good run with the team they have now. It was a kind of basic core. I think Derrick Rose was there, Randall was there, Mitchell Robinson was there.
Yeah, but Brunson changed the game.
I think the difference between
weren't injured.
a terrible Julius Randle year last year and a decent year this year. I mean, he's not playing out of his head like he did 2 years ago.
No.
But the difference is having a true point guard. Derrick Rose, for everything he is, he's not a true point guard. He is a scoring point guard. I think that Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are very surprising. Now, what I had Boston on there as well. Just with Ime, all the trouble he had.
absolutely.
Joe Mazzulla. If you would have asked anybody who's Joe Mazzulla, unless they're Paul Nelson, they probably don't know who it is. So I lean toward Boston, but I picked the team that Boston, the guy who should be coaching in Boston right now. Shout out Will Hardy at Utah.
Oh, Utah.
Utah
Tough.
is just.
Tough.
I mean, looking at things, right? Poor man's Dirk Nowitzki. Lauri Markkanen is playing great. Now,
Yeah.
he started his career off playing great in Chicago. He's bounced around. He hasn't been able to get consistent minutes. Everybody made jokes when, hey, they traded Rudy away and got a lot of picks. This is classic Danny Ainge.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Denver got rid of Melo and sent him to New York. And that next team, that next year,
They were good.
Oh, yeah.
scrappy.
They were scrappy. They
got
fought,
together.
yeah.
But I think the difference between this team and that team is they don't want to be that team. They
No,
don't
I
want
think
a
Utah's
first-round
ready to
exit.
tank. Like, what
Yeah,
are we doing?
I think they're getting ready to step off a cliff.
Why
on
are we
purpose.
winning games? Yeah.
Yeah,
Lori, we love you and we hate you.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
but
I think the great thing about Utah is they can look in the windshield and the rearview mirror at the same time. They can say, you know what, this isn't the run we thought we were going to have, but we're here now. We're here now, so we're going to go ahead and make this run now.
Yeah.
While also saying, you know what, we also own Minnesota's pick, and if they suck, okay, we can
Which
package
pick?
some stuff.
Which pick?
Yeah, all of them.
We own
They have
all of their
all of
picks.
them.
Yeah.
Alex, what surprised you? So
Man,
far?
I had Utah. I think Utah. New York was a great pick. Sacramento also. I mean, the addition of Sabonis. You got Keegan coming in playing well. Herter, Waiter.
Atlanta just didn't want him. Apparently,
Yeah.
we don't want good players
Dude
in
can
Atlanta.
shoot.
Let's just
Dude can shoot. Dude's athletic. Like he's really good on the ball.
checking it out. Dude can in fact shoot. Yeah,
Dude
he can.
No, he can.
He can.
And then you got
can.
savvy veterans like Harrison Barnes just stepping up and scoring 20, like hitting big shots, playing good D. Sacramento's playing good basketball right now. So they were my surprise pick of the season.
You know what's odd is Utah new coach. Boston new coach. In Sacramento, new coach.
But
So
I
it's
mean, you look at Sacramento. Who's their coach now?
Mike Brown.
And where did Mike Brown come from?
Originally or last year?
Like originally. So like we saw his stint in Cleveland and all
Rocks.
that kind of stuff, and it was horrible, right?
His mother.
He ran into
He did.
Hurricane
Shout
LeBron,
out,
right?
mothers. Shout
yeah,
out.
he ran into Hurricane LeBron. But I think that time he spent in the culture of Golden State with Steve Kerr, look at the difference it's made in his coaching. Sacramento, they're a well-coached team.
It's
Well-coached team.
It's fun to see De'Aaron Fox be good because
Did he
we
make
were.
a difference? I don't think Mike Brown made a difference wherever he went. I mean, he was a good coach over there. He rode the coattails of LeBron. He goes to Golden State. He takes over that team. They win 15 in a row with 3 to 4 Hall of Famers, and then he's going to Sacramento. And yeah, he's doing a good job, but like I still feel like they're fraudulent. I
Man,
don't think
why do you have so much haterade?
Because they're against LeBron.
So this is, he's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be cheering on Sacramento in 3 years when Bronny James and LeBron go there. He's going to be wearing his Chris Webber jersey.
I'm
He's going to
telling
be
you.
Like Peja from day one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it, man.
Absolutely,
That's it. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So from surprising to the other side of the coin, who's been disappointing, Alex? Who have you looked at and said, that it just they're not doing it?
Man, I have a couple, but if I had to pick one, I'm not going to go Lakers. Lakers my obvious choice, right? Being a Lakers fan, I think everybody expects me to talk about Dallas and LA. That's kind of my sweet spot.
The Mavericks and Sparks.
Yeah, that's it. I have the Mavericks written down, but I think I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Man, that big blockbuster they pull for Gobert, and then you got Cat Edwards is coming back. Supposed to be taking another step. They can't figure it out. In
Is it
Minnesota.
coaching?
Is it culture?
I think sometimes Blockbuster goes bankrupt. So
But look at what they gave up. So, and I say like most disappointing because I don't want to think of like in terms of like as an NBA fan watching it, but think about the fan base of Minnesota. They're like, we don't have picks for 20 years because of Rudy Gobert, and this stuff isn't working. So, at what point are you like, what are you trading away, Cat? What are you moving, D'Angelo?
it's a thought.
Ant Edwards is Edwards the guy?
D'Angelo's on expiring. I mean,
Yeah, but is
You
Ant
can't
Edwards
do-
the
You
guy?
can't do it this year.
Is he playing like the guy? Is he too small to be a wing?
That's still the problem. I don't think they learned how to figure it out. I don't know if they've had these internal conversations, and I think there's too many stars and not enough roles, and I think that the roles aren't being stamped, which is a part of coaching. That's why I think the coaching is really the problem. There's no reason why they shouldn't be at least 5-6 games above 500.
Do they have a 3 or a 4 that Boston would love right now?
I think. Well, no, not that Boston would love. I think Boston's got their 3 or 4. We're good with Sam Hauser. All right, we're not taking minutes and shots away from Sam Hauser. Okay, let's not defame Sam Hauser on this podcast.
Let's not do that.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll keep giving Austin Reeves 20 shots a game.
I think your point about Minnesota. I think you looked at the landscape of the league, and it's get small, get quick. Kill people from downtown. You have to shoot threes well. So what we should do? Let's trade for Rudy Gobert. let's trade for Captain COVID if we're keeping the captain themed this whole time.
Yeah.
Of hey, let's go ahead touch everyone's mic. Let's go ahead and it was a great thought experiment that has failed miserably. This twin towers of hey, we have our version of David Robinson in a 3-point shooting Tim Duncan. The problem was you don't have either of them.
Yeah, I think Cat plays so far out of his element. Like, you're not a point guard. You're not a slasher. You're not a three-point shooter. Let's figure out who you are as a player. You can make a difference.
Well, I actually think that the actual big man situation is becoming more and more relevant. I think the small thing is going out the window now. Now I think that teams are actually the big guys making a comeback, and I think that the Twin Tower thing, I'm not going to say it was LeBron's idea, so don't go there. But the Lakers with AD and then JaVale or Dwight kind of started a change in trend. Now you can look at different cities and organizations. I mean, look at what Cleveland's doing. Nobody's going to argue about their success, what's going on. I just think there's a lack of coaching on how to work these
You
pieces.
do realize the smallest team in the NBA won the championship last year.
I think in order
With the 7-footers still, yes.
I think okay, great. I'm not buying anything you're saying. I think we've seen a renaissance of big men, but the big man you're describing is Rudy Gobert. I mean the other ones, right? That you're talking about, Evan Mobley, right? Evan Mobley is completely he's a jack of all trades. He's going to probably be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
And how much more
shortly.
athletic is he than Robert?
I mean, he's young KG. He is young KG.
And nobody's giving Cat a Defensive Player of the Year award. And
No.
honestly,
That guy
two
couldn't
out of
find
those
his
three
way
big
out of
men
him.
in Cleveland can block anybody's shot in any
Yeah,
part
absolutely.
of the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think that they can't do that. And plus, gosh, I just really think the pieces that it looks great. 2K, you'd have a wonderful time playing with it.
You
He's
would.
big-footed and sloppy, man. That's all I see when I watch Minnesota. Just big-footed and sloppy. I'm like, man.
Oddly enough, so since Karl Anthony Towns went down, what's the team's record?
I don't know.
Any guesses? They've played
How many
nine games.
2-7.
2-7. Oh, that was pretty good.
Since Towns went down?
Yep.
No, they've come in a couple. I think they're like, 6-3?
6-3. Wow.
So
Off
we're
the
on
top of-
opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think they've had a come up.
So, just like in many things in the discussions between you two, Alex, you are absolutely wrong. Frank, you're close. They're 5-4.
Five and four.
Yeah, I
Gotcha,
thought
yeah.
they were.
And including last night's win,
Yeah, the huge win.
without Rudy. So
I wasn't counting last night, so.
Oh, it's your numbers still added up to 9 though.
Which
So
did y'all hear about the Levine getting chewed out by his teammates at halftime?
no, neither did
Yeah.
anybody else in the league because nobody pays attention to Chicago this year.
Man, which is why they were written down on my paper for most disappointing.
Bleacher
also, but-
Report did.
Shout out to Bleacher.
Bleacher
Shout out.
Something that all teams wish they had back is some do-overs. Frank, who did something or didn't do something in the offseason that are regretting it right now?
So I got one.
Is it the Westbrook?
Is this the point where
No.
you talk Lakers and LeBron and we just take a break?
None of it.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was laid back. You see me sit back. I was ready for it.
This was a different one. This is I was thinking about it and I was like, what is probably the boneheadest thing that happened this offseason? And then I came to the conclusion that Kevin Durant's trade request was probably the worst thing that happened.
If you have a do-over, nothing even happened. It's just something you said.
Listen, it's
Like-
bad PR. It's bad timing. The only thing I can think of that was benefit, if there was some like medieval strategy to distract the Lakers and thinking they had a chance at Kyrie Irving, and then maybe your other objective was to get Nash fired. That's the only objective I can think from it that would make sense.
Mission accomplished.
Other than that, wow.
So is that like a regrettable, or did they get done what they wanted to get done?
The do-over would be, I don't want a trade request. I want Kyrie.
But would they
Kyrie's
have,
my teammate.
could they have moved the way they did?
I am officially not saying anything against Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, you can come for them. I am steering clear from that. I don't want any of this.
You know he'll beef you up on like Instagram and Twitter, man.
Did
Like,
let me ask, because you are the local LeBron expert. You might even be the regional LeBron expert.
district-wide.
Did Kevin Durant pull a LeBron James and say, and I know LeBron's never requested a trade, but did Kevin Durant play mind games in order to get this team to kind of row in the right direction? Is he playing chess?
No.
While everybody
Like Jerry,
we're
like
giving it to
playing
him.
chess while everybody else playing
One
checkers.
simple thing. They changed coaches. Steve Nash was that bad.
You think so?
He was that bad.
Jock Vaughn.
It's their fault. It's
Shout
their
out.
Shout out,
Shout
Jacques
out.
Vaughn.
Shout
fault.
out,
Vaughn
Jacques
was
Vaughn.
successful before, and guess what? He's successful again.
He was a playable point guard, shooting guard in the NBA many years. Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah.
Playable. He was playable. He did play. He earned minutes as a
you
point
could
guard.
give him minutes and he was fine.
Shooting guard. Mine is it's the simple fact that, and I hate saying this because he's sitting right next to me. I hate saying this, and I love saying this to you. The Lakers screwed up the offseason. I don't care how good Russ is as a sixth man. The fact that you could have turned Russ into Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, and you did not. Right now, with AD's injury out for a month, this is the reason you make that trade. This is the reason that you say, you know what? Forget the picks. We have LeBron James. We have Anthony Davis, who at some point is going to get hurt for a month and go on vacation. We need as much depth as we can in order to sustain an injury that's going to happen. So the fact, I could care less about the 2027 first. I could care less about the 2029 first. Organizationally, it does not matter to me.
I agree.
I think when you have excellence at the time that you do, with two arguably top 15, can we agree LeBron and AD are two of the top 15 players in the league?
When healthy.
Yeah, when healthy.
AD when healthy. LeBron, yes.
Well, yeah. Well, you can't
Healthy or
count.
not.
You can't count.
I would
on
say
injuries.
LeBron's top 12 and AD is top 5 when healthy.
Yeah.
At this age. I mean, he's
Shots.
20.
You're a hater.
Shots.
28
Shots.
8.
LeBron, get in the comments. Tell them what you think.
Shout out LeBron, LBJ, go King.
But I think that they've messed up. I think Rob Pelinka, the fact that he got an extension is ludicrous.
That's
What has he done?
crazy.
I mean, honestly, he has done nothing. I don't want to hear all the haters out there. Oh, he brought LeBron James. No, he didn't. LeBron picked the Lakers. Okay, he picked the Lakers.
Can I tell you what was our starting lineup last night? Can you name 3 of the players in our starting lineup last
I can
night?
tell you who wasn't there.
Okay.
More than I can tell you who was
But
there.
here's what I think. I think
They
you're
had the
absolute-
stepbrothers of.
But listen, a failure to plan for LeBron playing 55 and 60 and then AD playing 55 and 60 and still trying to get into playoffs, that's failure.
Well, see, my thing is I'm going to go Frank Stradamus on this and say that
Stradamus.
by the end of this season, if they don't make any moves, a major segment of ours is going to be, is this the worst organization LeBron's been a part of? Because to waste these years with the way that AD is playing and the way that he is playing this year, it's just blatantly. I mean, like it didn't take rocket scientists to see this squad and say they just still can't shoot.
There's zero
and there were
talent.
shooters out there in the offseason.
Yeah.
There was plenty of shooters.
Well, they could have kept it in.
to Hooter.
They could, to Hooter and Herder.
Herder, yeah.
Both.
Shout
Herder
out
and
to
Hooter. Hooter would have worked too.
Waiter.
Shout out to anybody San Antonio signs because it seems like they all shoot.
Well,
threes
yeah,
at this point.
Malink Monk, right? They let Malink Monk
You
go.
do have
That's-
opportunities right now. I mean, think about, San Antonio's sitting on McDermott shooting 45%.
Dougie McBuckets.
I'm just saying, like,
Dougie
and
McBuckets.
we sit there and we're
You know
like,
what? That's got a Wally Zerbiak feel.
But that's
though.
my point. That they're
Can we talk about like Cooper Kupp? Hey, he's sneaky athletic too. Is that,
Yeah.
that's a euphemism for white? It's a white shooter.
that's,
All right.
that's how everybody talks about
Sneaky
it.
athletic.
Here's the situation, though. If they can't figure this out, there has to be a serious conversation about the organization. How does Rob Pelinka get an extension? It's unbelievable. It's got to be one of the worst ownership moves I've ever seen.
Shout out Jeannie Buss.
It's
Do
probably
better.
as bad as Krause and getting rid of Phil Jackson.
Yeah, Paul, can you before you move off this LA segment of yours, can you explain to Jeannie Buss what you explained to Frank last week, last podcast, our mock one, when he lost to me? Be better tomorrow.
It's not a loss when it's preseason. We don't count those.
Now oh man, that's true. We don't count preseason games unless we win. Then we count it all
we
day.
count every
Yeah,
one.
We count it all
4-0
day.
in the preseason. Well, they played 3 games now, but you know.
I mean, I will say this: they do have to be better. But the statement that, organizationally, this is the worst that anybody's done, that's a lot because some of those early Cleveland teams were god-awful. They were hanging their hat on Mo Williams. And
He went to the finals with Wally Zerbiak.
We have Shaq when Shaq, this is pre-Papa John Shaq. I get it, but it's still Shaq at the end of his career.
Zadrunas and Zadrunas
With his bum
Bless
leg.
you. I don't know if you guys are sneezing or telling me about a player, but either one, it's bad. They do. Now, the last thing about the NBA,
hold on one more second. I got a quick fact for you. I think Rob Pelinka might secretly hate LeBron.
I
Did
don't
you
doubt
know
it.
that Carlos Boozer was going to sign with the Cavs, but Rob Pelinka stopped
Blocked it, yeah.
blocked it going to Cleveland, and that would have been a
Yeah.
great running mate for LeBron. He would have been a
Would
very
it have?
The handshake
Yes.
that never happened.
So my point is Rob Pelinka is he's a pain in his butt.
did Robbie P represent Kobe?
Yeah, he was his agent
So
at the
is-
beginning.
Are we going
Whoa.
conspiracy theory? Like, hey, he doesn't want him to be. LeBron's really not as. That could be.
That-
Could be.
Maybe.
Maybe. Last thing before we move on. What's the biggest move to come?
The biggest move to come.
Yeah, the biggest move to come. I think, and again,
I got one, but it's kind of I think the Bulls. I think.
You think DeMar's got to go?
I think they were frauds last year. I think they're frauds again. I never thought that they were real. I thought they were regular season darlings.
Yeah.
And I think that their flame went out, and I don't think they can without Lonzo Ball, who's just done. He might need to take 2 years off to figure out what's going on. And I'm not talking about since counting this past years that he's not played.
they got the great update.
Ball is
Hey,
life.
he's a month away, guys.
Ball is life.
He's a month.
He's
He's
done.
been a month away for 13 months.
Yeah, he's done. So I think that DeMar, somebody on the Bulls has got to go.
I think it's multiple somebody's.
I do too.
That's what I had.
I
I had the Bulls
had the
blow up.
Bulls.
I think DeMar's gone. I think
anybody wants to get rid of Tyler.
think-
The parity in the NBA is so crazy. Everybody's so close to making the playoffs. It's very Magic Johnson. Shout out to Johnson. He put a tweet out saying the parity in the NFL and the NBA is crazy. Everybody's so close and tied together. And then some of the teams that are bad are good. Like we could see, there's Golden State and LA outside the 10 spot, looking in on in the West.
I
And
think it's age catching up with the NBA.
I don't think it's age. I think it's parity. I think that everybody's so close to 500 right now that we really can't tell what's going on. We need 40 games to really give a good 40, probably 50 games to give a good accurate
60,
assessment.
70. I think we need 82 games to figure out who's
Shout
I
out.
think 82 is a great number.
82. Could be 82 games.
Yeah.
I think Chicago's going to blow it up just like you do. I also think Toronto has a couple decisions to make. I think Toronto needs to figure out is this a Scotty Barnes team, and do we need to move OG? Do we need to move
I
Fred
heard
VanVleet?
OG, they're going to want more than what they got for Donovan Mitchell.
Hey,
I heard it was the same.
I heard,
That's crazy.
but I'm hearing names like Gary Trent. I'm hearing names like Pascal Siakam. I'm hearing OG,
you threw a
Anunoby.
DeMar to Toronto idea out,
Hey,
and I was
I
like,
did earlier.
oh.
I was like, man, I could see a homecoming for DeMar. You get off of Siakam, you get off of Gary Trent Jr., something
I
like
think
that,
DeMar.
and you bring DeMar back. I mean,
I think DeMar retires.
When I
before
look
he
at
goes to
Toronto, what's Toronto's biggest issue right now?
Wins.
They're half court. that would be it. But what equates to wins is
They're
good,
too nice.
good offense and
They're
good
just
defense.
too nice. That's the problem.
We can't make buckets and we can't stop the other team from getting buckets. But I think
that's a problem.
that's a problem. But I think if you look at
So that
Toronto,
is a problem.
their half court offense is horrible.
Yeah,
It's atrocious.
Fred VanVleet needs to have another kid. I mean,
that
get your
was
wife.
a
You better
spark.
get your wife pregnant. And
Wasn't that playoffs?
that was
Playoff Van
It's-
Fleet?
I just think they. I trust Nick Nurse and I trust Usai Majiri to do whatever
Yeah,
they
great.
they have
Leadership.
earned enough credit to have a season like this where you go, let's retool. I think Pascal Siakam is a great piece. If he's 29 years old, if he's not going to be there for the next 5-7 years, you go ahead and get rid of him.
Here, I got a
I
conversation
think you
for
can
you.
move him,
Can
yeah.
you name me the last undrafted free agent that got paid? That did well after he got paid.
Pascal Siakam.
Jose Alvarado this year.
Hey, Alvarado's having a good year.
Is he going to make an All-Star team? Like what are we talking
That wasn't the
about?
question.
I said did
Stick
good.
to the.
I didn't say.
I said did good.
Okay,
Did
but
good. What's
yes,
good? What do you guys? 3 points a game? We're a great NBA player now. Like
I said did good.
I mean,
man.
I think of Matthew Dellavedova. I think of Timothy Mozgov. I think
Matthew
of
Dellavedova, eh?
Duncan Robinson. I think of
of Jose Alvarado.
no, the guy we were just talking about, Toronto.
Pascal Siakam.
No, the point guard.
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet.
I think of them 4 instances, and I think of a player that got paid, and then
I think that happens all the time.
Siakam got paid and then became an all-star.
Correct.
yeah, it's like he played better afterwards.
I mean, he's having a great
Was he an
year.
undrafted free agent?
No.
That's my point. An undrafted free agent.
Well,
Because Van Vliet was an undrafted free agent.
the pool in which you're selecting, though, isn't a deep pool.
Yeah, and let's not
Undrafted
act
free
like
agents.
Dellavedova
But they're
played
getting
well
paid
before he
for a
got paid.
But they're getting
Like, come on, really? Dellavedova.
Deli was that guy.
No, okay. Deli brought like spunk and like heart to the game.
Deli
but
was that guy.
He had no
He
talent.
got overpaid in Milwaukee. I'm not saying
I think he
didn't.
held Curry to like 34 points.
No, Curry
Shout
only
out
averaged
Deli.
like 19 points that series.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Shout
tell you
out
now.
Deli.
That's why they didn't give him the MVP is because he got
Mad
let
Chew.
down by an undrafted free agent rookie.
Yeah, he went to Milwaukee on like a $30 million contract or some crazy stuff.
Just look at Duncan Robinson. He
that's-
can't even get playing minutes now after he got paid. Like, what is the point? I mean, I don't understand. You
Yeah, but I
paid
think
him.
Miami. I think if
can't give him
Chicago
away.
is on your radar, how close is Miami?
No, I don't think anybody's close. I don't think the rest of the NBA. I can't think of a single team that I'm like, yeah, they're going to blow it up.
No, I think Miami could.
San Antonio.
Well, they're going to blow up.
Yeah.
Pirtle. Keldon Johnson. Devin Vassell.
Can we not put Pirtle?
They're going to blow up instead of blowing
Listen.
up boulders because
Yeah.
that's what a team is.
Pirtle,
They're going to
man.
blow up small
Firecrackers.
rocks and a pebble.
Pirtle. Listen, don't sleep on Pirtle. Don't sleep on Pirtle.
He just has that
He's
game.
a statistical darling, let me tell you. Okay? And it's a fun game. So I don't want to hear it.
Shout out to Pirtle.
These NBA teams are surely going to be in the gift giving mood when they start asking these trade offers and accepting. Speaking of gift giving, you know what season it is?
Man, what season is it?
It's Christmas.
You see that Christmas tree?
most wonderful time of the year. Speaking of that, thank you.
Great job, Paul.
I'll be here all
Appreciate
week.
you. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Mostly because they
appreciate
pay
you.
me. So we all love Christmas.
Don't we?
We all love Christmas songs. So we decided
It's my third favorite holiday.
to come up with
Third?
Third. What are the top two?
Thanksgiving.
If you say your
Halloween,
birthday,
Thanksgiving.
you're not allowed to play
That's
anymore.
Woo!
Y'all are sleeping on President's Day, Arbor Day,
Those are all days off you have because
National
you're a teacher.
Cupcake Day. No,
That's a day.
Those are all days I work because I'm a teacher. Thank you. Election Day.
Yeah. Shout out to the teachers.
Shout out.
Yeah.
That puts you at 12 shout outs.
Thank
Way to
you.
go.
Appreciate
buddy.
it, bro.
12 shout outs.
Yeah.
Frank,
Shout out to your wife pretty soon, huh?
Frank.
Yeah, shout out to my wife, man. Maybe going back to teaching in the classroom.
Oh, man. Hey, yo.
Yeah. So she's had a couple years.
Just for
out
the
of
record,
it,
I
so-
shouted out your wife before you did.
Nah, she knows I love her.
That
I don't.
is-
It
that's
doesn't
a
take
good
it.
one.
Doesn't take it.
Shouted Alex's wife out. I don't know if that's a good
Shout
thing
out
or
to
a
my
bad
wife
thing.
too.
Yeah,
I shouted out
you
another
shouted
man's
out.
wife.
You
no
shouted
man's
out
wife.
my wife before you shout out your wife. So
Shout out to Queen Empress Ashley.
yeah.
Queen Empress. That's a new nickname.
Yeah. I just try to think of big things that are prestigious.
I think we have
and
marriage
together.
advice coming up in a different episode coming up later.
It's going to be needed at this point.
At this point, you better bring
I
some
just shouted
fire.
out another woman before I shouted out her.
And
You better bring some
you
fire.
keep pointing it out, too.
I know.
so
I
that's-
mean, like, the first step is admitting fault.
You ever realize when you talk too much, Frank?
I thought he was just going to end it right then. Do you ever realize when you talk too much? Like that was Christmas songs. Let's go ahead and draft them. Let's see who can come up with the best team of Christmas songs. Now we did a random order, and of course, like usual, like the Lakers, not this year because the Pelicans have their pick. But future could have the first pick. We're gonna have a snake draft. Alex, you go first. Then we're gonna go with Frank, double up with me, and then back to Frank. and
So
back
you'll
to Alex.
have 3 and 4, right? Snake draft.
Absolutely snake
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah, snake
I
draft.
got to hide my draft papers.
Oh, come on.
I'll go ahead and keep the records.
You got to have the song. Do we have to have the song and who it was by? So it has to be that
Yes.
exact song.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we can agree with that.
Yes.
We're good
Sure.
with that.
I have one honorable mention that nobody's going to take, so you'll see.
All right. Can
Adam
you
Sandler. Oh, okay.
That's great, though. I just thought about
hit my music? Hit my theme music.
I won't.
Dun. I don't know what my
won't.
theme music is.
Christmas.
What is
I
my
don't-
theme
I don't-
music?
So many bad thoughts went through my head, and I'm just not talking.
Is it like, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, all right, with the number 1 pick in this year's Christmas song draft, the greatest GM ever will take Silent Night by the Temptations. I tell you what, it's not Christmas at my house until the Temptations has sang Silent Night as loud as my radio will play it. That's number 1 pick. And I think it's a superstar in this league. It's everything you look for from a number 1 pick. It has soul. It has rhythm. They're lively. They range from. It's everything you look for.
It's an underwhelming pick.
It's a great song.
It was an underwhelming pick until you said Temptations.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it.
This is the hey, we're gonna pick this great player. Have you seen him play? No, but everybody says he's good. It's bound to happen. Frankie, who you
That's
got?
it.
So I'm gonna go.
With his list being very secretive.
Yes, very secret.
What's with that?
I have the #1 viewed song on YouTube for Christmas songs.
Last I checked, we don't watch Christmas songs, but okay.
Well,
There's
my
always
house-
that thing that Frank brings, and you're
so,
like,
see, at my house we don't pay for Apple Music or nothing like that. So YouTube is how we play music.
You mean iTunes?
Yeah, that too. I just got an iPhone.
He has an iPhone, folks.
I just got one.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we do is we look up music on YouTube, and the #1 most viewed song with 784 million views is Wham! Last Christmas.
Great song.
Great song.
You know, I'll tell you, my kids know that song better than they know Frosty the Snowman.
Really?
Absolutely.
I don't think my kids know Frosty the Snowman. They know Jingle Bells Batman Smells, but I don't think they know
No,
Frosty.
they know Wham! Last Christmas. My kids do.
Last Christmas.
That's a great pick. That is it. That would have been my wife's
Not being
pick.
funny. Have you ever watched the video? I watched the video recently.
The fact that George Michael sings
That's what I'm
that,
saying.
like, that's, yeah.
I don't know why that would be funny.
No, it's like seriously 80s, and it can play it every day today.
There's nothing wrong with the 80s, by the way.
No, but the fact
Three
that
guys
the
born in the
song
80s.
is
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
the
by
song
the
that
way.
the fact that the song's relevant and gets a lot of airtime, and then you look at the video and like, wow, super sketch.
Gotta cross that off my list. Yeah, on there.
All right,
That's a good pick. So I get back-to-back picks. So
All right, Paul, you're at the 3 and 4 spot, man. Make them count.
I'm gonna go.
draft, baby, snake
Everything
draft.
counts. I'm gonna go sentimental. I'm gonna go Oh Holy Night.
Oh, holy night.
Yep, by one David. Don't call me Michael Phelps.
David Phelps.
Frank knows this.
American Idol?
This is the song that gets played at the in-laws'
Yeah.
residence every Christmas.
Mom cries.
It used to be mom.
watch.
Yeah, our mother-in-law would be the one that cries,
Yes.
and you could mark it down when she was going to cry. His hand goes up in the air, he's singing, and boom, tears are going down her face.
It's one of those, though. It's a tearjerker.
So now the tables have turned, and it's your wife Ashley and my wife Lindsay are the ones that start crying.
and we sit back
and-
and go,
and it's-
oh, get the popcorn.
It's hilarious.
You guys sit and watch
So
that.
it's-
Yeah, we love
yes,
it.
yes,
we love it
yes.
because we're like, cue the tears.
I will say both picks, okay. It's a stretch in the first round.
we're drafting a team
No,
here. I'm not
no,
drafting
this is-
feelings.
Listen,
I think you guys are drafting feelings and not a team.
think you're-
I'm drafting definitely a team.
so far you're going on name recognition only. Okay,
I went on the Temptations.
sing Silent Night.
So
Thank
You
you.
want me to sing it?
in their
Thank you.
version.
Do you want me to hit the vocals?
No,
like
actually
the-
don't.
Yes,
He can really
Yes,
sing.
you're no David Ruffin,
boy
sir.
can
Yes.
sing.
You're no David Ruffin.
I'm David Ruffin.
The
There
second,
ain't no Temptations without David Ruffin.
there were.
Shout out Temptations. Sorry.
So my next pick, I'm gonna go. So I went sentimental. Now I'm gonna go playful. Got to have something for the children. We love the children here.
We do
This
love the
podcast is
children.
for the kids.
It's for the children.
No matter what
Trick Daddy
Frank
loves
says
children.
early
Trick that
on.
love the kids.
Okay. And I'm gonna go. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch,
You're
by
a
Thurl
mean
Ravenscroft. So I'm going to
Grinch.
take that one. See, you cannot hear the words "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch" without playing the song.
It's true.
It's automatic.
It just happened.
It did. Frank, you're up
Live.
next. The fifth
I'm
pick.
next. Okay,
this is
so-
your second pick, second round.
So I'm going to go with the third most played video on YouTube for Christmas songs.
YouTube really determines the way you go.
There's a lot.
I
of it.
would say there's
because
other-
that's how I do my music. That is the realistic way of how we do all of our music. We listen, we put on YouTube on TV, and we search. The song.
Now I would ask: is navigating through YouTube is that foundational for managing a team, Paul? Where will YouTube get you?
I'll tell you this: it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
No, because I have
Okay.
statistical views behind my stats. Oh,
This
for my
is
stats.
you are the only one that would take something as sentimental as Christmas songs and turn it into.
Oh, this is
I have YouTube views.
This is a war.
I'm bring. Oh.
We're drafting a team.
Let's
Listen,
do it.
this is not
trying to
war.
win.
We are not soldiers. This is not war. It's a podcast.
to the
Relax.
Batcave.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
This is
Who you got? You've told us YouTube twice.
this is an intense competition. Maybe not war.
Who's the song?
Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas.
I
Thank
gave
you.
you that one today.
I am
No,
so
you
glad
didn't.
you
I
said
have it
that.
down in my paper.
I gave you that one today.
I did that.
And I promised my wife I was going to take that one. Honey, his fault.
He should have took it first. Nobody was
couldn't
gonna
take it first.
Silent
He's-
Night.
he has
Temptations.
shouted out your wife
Nobody
first
would
and
have
took
said
her
that.
song.
Nobody would have said that. I took it, so he couldn't take it. It was actually my number 3 pick, but because we're drafting a team and I knew they might take it the next round, I snatched it up.
There was no way I was taking that. That's in my bottom one.
Was that your number 2?
that was my
your
number 2.
I
That
knew it was
sat in my-
close.
in my
I knew it was
wheelhouse.
close, but we
Preemptive
also
strike.
love Mariah Carey. though.
Way to
We
go.
do, yeah.
Yeah, that makes two of us. That you two are. So Alex, what do you have as your?
I get to round out my team.
You
now.
do,
I get to
man.
round out, and so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to do it really simple. With my second pick in this Christmas song draft, I'm going to take. Well, I'ma have a blue. I'm gonna take "Blue Christmas" by
king.
Elvis. Man, I remember my dad listening to that song and just singing it. Love that. You got it. How can you have anything about music without the king in it?
Makes me think of my grandma.
Yeah, doesn't it?
She went to Graceland like 8 times.
Doesn't it?
In fact, at her wake, she literally had an Elvis impersonator sing at her wake.
Well, I don't think
Well, she didn't
had
have it.
Yeah,
But
I was going to say I don't think she had that, but you guys did it for her.
Yeah, and it was it. So when I think of Elvis, it's very emotional. That's why when
Yeah.
you did it, I was like, great pick, great pick.
Great pick.
I hate it. Hate it.
How can you say you
Hate
hate
it.
Can't you come up with a different verbiage after I
Hate
give
it.
you a sentimental story about my band?
Great, awesome, loathe it, loathe it, despise it. That's again another shout out.
You're a mean
Deborah
one.
Chandler, Gigi, aka
Mr.
no,
Grinch.
no,
Yeah.
no, I am Mr. Grinch. Thank
All
you.
right, and then
So
with
who's-
my first pick of the third round to finalize my team, and this is going to make me so well-rounded that you guys are going to be like, give it up. I'm going to go Santa Claus is coming to town, because who doesn't like hearing those words by the Jackson 5? So I have Elvis on my roster, Michael Jackson out of the Jackson 5 on my roster, and then, of course, I have Silent Night by the Temptations. It's soulful, it's full, it's rich.
Is this when we go?
No, this is like when the waiter is describing a dish and you're like, I'm not ordering it.
Sweet potato casserole.
No, really, the vegan option is good here.
Definitely get it.
It's really good.
It's the chef's special.
No butter at all.
It's in the back of the refrigerator.
I
in Chef's
think
salad.
my 3 are the turkey at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my god!
Just saying.
I don't know how you cook your turkey.
It's dry. it's
No, it's juicy.
It's
It's
missing a
fried to
leg.
perfection. It's everything you want turkey to be.
the problem is this ain't Thanksgiving.
It's busting.
This is not Thanksgiving. Okay, we're talking about Christmas.
That
We
list
can talk
needs
about
some
Thanksgiving.
milk.
Is if you guys call my list mid when it's busting?
Mid would say it'd be mid tier, and I don't know.
Mid and bussin'. Mid and bussin'.
Mid would be meaning mid tier, and I don't know if it's there.
Yeah.
Frank,
It's okay.
your last pick.
Okay, so it was actually my second pick, but strategically wise, I picked. It was actually my second pick, but strategically I picked Mariah Carey. So
I love when he tries to figure out
Strategy.
math and stuff. This was going to be my third pick
So-
when the first pick went
Hey,
fourth.
Frank, your math ain't mathing, bro.
Shout out to all the believers out there.
Oh, believers. I know which one
Here
you're
we
going
go.
with.
Justin Bieber
It's YouTube. It is
Mistletoe.
definitely mistletoe.
with 486 million views.
So you
With a
went from
rounded team. Hold on. Quick math here.
Is it?
Over 1.2 billion views.
Do you
with
have
these 3 songs?
You have quick math, or did you just look at the paper?
Oh, that was quick math. I just did
quick math. So 700 million, 400 million, and 300.
1.4 billion views.
Yeah, 1.4.
Probably about roughly 1.5.
So your 1.2 wasn't math, and your math wasn't math, and it's really
That was
almost
quick
1.5.
math. Quick math is allowed to be make mistakes.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So Mr. Irrelevant. So I get Brock Purdy.
The Brock Purdy.
All right, so we have listen. A lot of picks have been good. Last Christmas, sad. Blue Christmas, sad. There's only one song.
You have my favorite song, Christmas song of all time on your list.
Let's see if I pick it.
Let's see.
You didn't
Is it-
draft it.
Is it the Christmas song?
No.
Because that's what I'm going with.
Are you going
Nat-
with
Great
Chestnuts?
choice.
Nat
Great choice. No,
King
the
Cole?
Christmas
Anything
song.
I have
Nat
Nat.
King
Let's
Cole.
see. Let's see. My next Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby,
Bing
Nat King Cole.
Crosby, White
I
Christmas
mean, you
was my
just.
favorite one.
I'm gonna go with the Christmas song, Nat King Cole. There's something about Nat King Cole. He can sing anything. He could probably
It's
look
true.
at me and talk bad about Josh Allen, and I'd still be like, "Wow, that's
He's really good at this.
He sounds really good though.
Him
So
and
I'm-
his daughter.
that's Natalie Cole. Shout out. Shout
Man,
out.
you guys just shouted out Natalie Cole.
We did.
Is Nat alive? Better shout out Natalie. It's getting dark.
Well, so just
Jeez.
I mean, these are all great. Please let us know who got it right, who got it wrong.
Yeah. Let us
Tell
know.
us how me and Frank probably got it right. Tell us how Alex got it wrong. That's probably the way it's going to go.
I have some honorable mentions that
You-
are my favorite.
No, we don't get honorable mentions
No,
around
I
here.
have to do one. At least
So do one. So do one.
So
How
Leo-
many YouTube views did it get
So-
first?
this one had 4 million views.
William Hung.
No, Leo
she bang?
Monte, Dominic the Donkey. It's an Italian Christmas song that every Italian
Should've
seems to
known
hate.
better.
Dominic the
So,
Donkey.
I had to do that. My favorite, really not well-known one is the Singing Contractors, Mary Did You Know?
Dude, Mary, did you know?
By the Singing
Written by the
Contractors,
Gaithers, though, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that written by the Gaithers?
I believe so.
If you
But
say
then
yes, nobody's going to know but the viewers. So
Check it out.
Bing Crosby, White Christmas, though, is that's the one that Christmas doesn't start.
3
until-
honorable mentions so
He
far.
had 3 honorable
I know.
mentions.
I snuck him in. I said
You
one,
didn't sneak them in.
and I put 2
They
in.
weren't snuck. You actually said, I have some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I'd like
So
to.
Bing Crosby is the one Christmas song that Christmas don't start till I play it, just like Silent Night is for you.
Yeah.
My wife says hippopotamus. All I want is hippopotamus, but I don't really.
That's a good
I
one.
want a
not mine,
hippopotamus.
it's hers.
Is that it?
Keep going.
No, I
We're-
can't.
that was good.
That's it. Thanks. I appreciate
Keep
it.
going. And with that, episode 1 in the books. Thank you very much. We hope everybody has a wonderful Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
We were going to be talking to you guys off and on before New Year's, so don't worry about New Year's yet. Just have a Merry Christmas. For Frank LaFada, for Alex Gullett, Paul Nelson, looking at the tally, it looks like, Frank, you had 4th and 30. That was important. Quick math. Frank wins the show. The YouTube views.
I don't
He's got
think
more
your
YouTube
math
views.
is math. Your math is math.
Listen, math be mathin', Christmas be Christmasin'.
That is true.
Sports be sportin'. 3
And
for
be
3
merry.
podcast.
3 for 3.
Alex Gullett, Paul Nelson, Frank LaFada. We're out.